good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of SDN Community Voices. I'm super excited today because we are going to be talking about our SDGC special, and we bring to you some of the behind the scenes of what is happening behind the conference and some of the amazing people who are bringing this conference together. So today I would love to invite Onur, who is my wonderful colleague, and we've worked together for the SDGC conference, to join us as a guest. Hello, Onur. How are you doing?
I'm good, Sudeshna. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. How is everything going your side?
Perfect. It's going great. I am so excited to have you here today. I know we've had a couple of shorter conversation, but let's actually begin with a short round of introduction. So tell us about yourself. How did you come to be a part of the SDGC team? And what are you excited about?
Yeah, for sure. I'm Onur, and I'm a researcher, design strategist, and award-winning service designer with an interdisciplinary approach to tackling complex challenges. I use design a transformative tool to shape how people think, live, and engage with the world. My background spans industrial design, service design, strategy, and social innovation and organizational leadership. And my work is grounded in human centered design principles, empathy, creative confidence, and embracing ambiguity. So much of my career has been dedicated to the public and social sectors, and at the Mayor's Office of Strategic Initiatives in the city of Mobile, Alabama. And I led projects such as the redesign of 311 services, the City Start Financial Empowerment Initiative, and the Mayor's Vision Track. Today, I work at the intersection of research, service design, and public policy, applying human centered design to reimagine civic engagement and bring diverse stakeholders together to solve systematic problems and co create actionable solutions. I'm also the founder of ENTA, the Industrial Designers Association of Turkey, and the founder of the Studio Caron and IF Design Award winning design studio. Through the Studio Caron, I partner with the nonprofit organizations, startups, foundations, and the local and the national governments to bridge research, strategy, and design, delivering projects that drive meaningful social impact and sustainable innovation. And I hold a bachelor's degree in industrial design from Kadir Has University, Istanbul, design research certificate in design for social innovation and sustainability from the University of the Arts London, Central St. Martin's, and a master's in strategic design and management with departmental honors from the Parsons School of Design, 2020. And I have been working with the service design networks almost 3 years, 3.5 years, and I worked bunch of amazing people around the world. We worked on the global conference and next gen conference as well. I appreciated giving me this opportunity to work amazing service designers and like you, and also the I learned bunch of things from the different industries people, and we are trying to increase awareness, the service design, the each industries.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for that detailed intro. Oh my God. And as you were talking
Pleasure.
about it, I was resonating so much. We've not ever had like the chance to go formal introduction. So it's always been
Yeah.
talking about SDGC. Yes, for me, one thing is we're Parsons made. I'm also a graduate of Parsons, by the way. And uh, like I work more in the strategic design, foresight strategy, the systems thinking space. So I've been like independent consulting for a long time now, and I work with leadership of both profits and nonprofit organizations to kind of look at the future of things. And that also just thinking about how to build that desired future in a more sustainable way. So as you were talking, I could absolutely see so many parallels and so many conversations that we could have both in nonprofits, healthcare, impact sector, and it really resonated with me. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background, so that our audience know that they're talking to and what kind of perspectives we bring in to this particular
Yeah,
conversation.
sounds great. We are working on the very complex systematic challenges together. But yeah,
Definitely. All right. So I think just about SDGC, like you were starting to talk about how you got involved, right? You wanted to be in this community of designers that are there. I am curious, like, what in terms of SDGC, what is the community like? What is the behind the scenes? What do you do? And yeah, like it is right around the corner. We're hardly 1 month away. It's on 15th, 16th, and 17th. Everyone's excited. What are we looking forward to?
actually, I mean, taking care of the community and media engagement for the global conference. And I have been working with the society and the communities and almost in 10 years. And I would like to get engaged between the people who taking care of the community awareness, which is amazing because community is means too much. And we can share our knowledge and we can share our experience, we can share what we know. That's why I wanted to be a part of the global conference team as well. And because it's a huge events in the year and the service design, and then so many things happening around, and just we are trying to show and reflect how the service design is secret weapon for the solving a problem. And that's why, and I'm the part of the teams. But otherwise, and I'll do the, as I mentioned, I'm still working on the intersection of public policy and social innovation and design. These days and world has the bunch of problems, and I mean the wars and also the management problems, society problems. That's why, and I believe that design, I mean design is the, maybe it's a broad topic, but the service design and some design methodologies could be a good fit the solving a design, and it could be a good tool for the solving problems. That's why I'm still working on the this intersection, which is hard, and still working hard because, and when I was working at the government, I dedicated myself to explain to how is design and what is the process, and even is each department doesn't have any idea about the design. But this is the I liked the um, like location of the between society and the government. If you are designers, you can create the big impact for them, a social innovation impact for them. That's why I'm the part of it. I'm sure you have this. You are so familiar this type of things, and you are working also the hard to. I mean, social innovation and the healthcare you mentioned, which is the another problem, and which is the another challenge for the government and the society. Yeah, I mean, so far so okay, but it will be much better.
Definitely. I think the all these complex spaces where you have so many intersecting systems, it's so important for service designers to actually take that as a challenge, because a lot of times we're in spaces most people are not familiar with the subject. So we end up being um, like even teaching or facilitating the entire process, and that really helps bring together the different disciplines. So I think particularly when you spoke about social innovation, I remembered the mental health innovation projects that I was doing. And one of the things that really came up to my mind as we were working with refugees and doing a lot of trauma conscious design and research in that area. So it's very interesting how disciplines like blend into each other, and that's one of the reason even I started working with SDGC, because you can kind of meet these different people with such incredible expertise in their own field and really bring that together. Now, just transitioning a little bit, I when we talk about impact, I think I want to also focus on the business impact aspect of it a little bit because this conference specifically is around business transformation. And a lot of times, I guess, in these different spaces, it's so important for designers to talk that business language and really bring that business value onto the table for people to see what kind of long term impact our work has in service design. And that's something I would be curious about from your perspective. Just like, what do you think about the theme of the conference and how it relates to you?
Actually, our team has amazing designers who they are working on the business and transition business to design. And actually, when I was in the master degree, I got strategic design and management and the design strategy and service design. Super relatives between the business. If you don't have the business data, if you don't use the business data, and it's not work in that pathways. I mean, um, there is a bunch of good speakers and workshops we have, and they will talk about the business and the service design. How can we talk to the common language between them, and also the designers who, for example, is the Slalom has a workshop, and they are very good at the business and the service design transactions. The otherwise in the our community engagement, our sponsors, they are very taking care of the business and the service design in the same page, because uh, I mean, it's a last decade, and we experienced how the strong if we use the service design methodologies in our business. Doesn't matter if it's a middle class or the high level business, and we can reshape the business models again with the service design methodologies. I mean, it's another good opportunity to designers to take place in the business life, much better than like looking for it as a businessman, but as a designers can shape all of the business pathways. That's why I'm so excited to see what we are gonna talk in the global conference. I mean, during the teams and otherwise, and what will the helpful the workshops the audience. It will be much helpful to understand what is the business mindset and the design mindset together. We can combine them, and how can we create actionable solutions.
Definitely. And this actually reminds me. So last year, when we had the conference in Helsinki, I had the opportunity of sitting with Mark, who's also like a part of Samply and Smaply, and they are doing this collaboration with Slalom for the workshop on journey management. And I had a little bit of sneak peek of what journey management can do when it is from like transitioning uh, all the insights that you've gathered from your service design process into now how you have built the strategy and how do you go into implementation. So that smooth transition was very interesting to see and also use it in my process because later I had this course that I took with SDN practitioners curriculum where we did have a guest lecture about that. So I was very fortunate to be able to see that process, and I'm super excited how the collaboration of SMAPLY and Slalom are going to kind of bring this together into life during the workshops. So I wonder,
Yeah,
like, oh, will the approach change now that the both companies have come together to think through the process?
yeah, and also I would like to say about something about the
Yeah.
journey management for business transmission. I mean, Uh, what really stands out about these sessions is how it tackles a common but critical
Hmm.
problem. Organizations running dozens of agile initiatives and everything from IT modernization to new product launches, and without the unflying threat. The result is often fragmented customer and employee experiences.
Mm.
This workshop shows us how to change that. It's about moving beyond journey maps as static workshops, artifacts, and instead using them as living strategic frameworks that connect efforts across an entire organization. And Mark and Greg bring not only practical tools, but also deep experience to help participants learn how to scale journey maps, prioritize initiatives, and creative through cross-functional alignments. I mean, if you are a leading or even participating in
Mm.
transformation efforts, this session will give you a clear path to synchronize agile delivery with customer and employee experience, which is amazing. I mean, it's a change to see how journeys can drive transformation with purpose, and it's definitely one not to miss. It's I think it will be more
Yeah, we
helpful.
actually have. This is so interesting. We're literally like deep diving into workshops at this point, but we have a number of workshops that are there. So this is definitely one, and then we have the harmonics workshop. Then we also have an AI based workshop, which is like the topic of the hour: how AI works in service design. Let me share a little bit about the harmonics experience. They also were there in Finland, which was amazing, and I'm excited to see how they've transformed that. But they would take like a healthcare case study, and they're gonna look at things at different scale, which was very interesting to see because it resonates more with the service design and systems thinking aspect kind of coming together and looking at it from different scale as we zoom in and zoom out, because as service designers we're constantly looking at the system from different lenses and also at different levels of scale. So is it like a are you looking at it from a high level aspect, and then when you narrow down to a specific touch point, what does that look like, because that itself is a journey on its own. So it's almost like a cascading journeys that we're looking at. So I'm curious how they have taken that, what they have done, and also like incorporated this year's experiences into their work.
Yeah, it's a harmonic design has another highly recommended workshops in a global conference. What excites me about this workshop is its focus on the real complexity that so many
Mm.
of us face. Working with multi-organization systems, we're shifting policies and rapid technology changes and competing priorities often collide, and transformation in those contexts is never simple. And these workshops promises to give us practical ways to untangle that complexity. And using the healthcare as a case study, the facilitators will take us through hands-on methods for defining scale, setting priorities, and building adaptive
Yeah,
strategies across different levels and strategic, structural, and tactical,
true,
technically. And it's not just about theory, and you will actually get all up your sleeves, groups, and experiment with tools you can bring back to your own organization. And if you are wrestling with the systematic challenges, which is hard, and want to live with both fresh questions and actionable approaches. And this is the workshop to join. I
yeah,
mean, it's a unique chance to learn how to break down challenge networks and identify scale, approximates, and opportunities for meaningful
true.
change. That's why I like their idea and the
I
harmonic design.
actually got to do a little bit of the application of it during my mental health innovation project, and it was very interesting to see because I was not only addressing the service design operations aspect, then we started addressing policy. We also started addressing the intersection between policy and operations and decision making. It was very interesting how it like blew up. Like there was a ripple effect of, oh, these are other things that we're touching, and we need to look at all of these aspects. Because this particular project I was working on was between 10 organizations. They wanted to come up with like a 10-year vision of what their integration of policy and operations look like. So it was really interesting to
Mhm.
see the end result of using such a methodology, and create that level of detail for them to execute what they started off as a vision with. So, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sounds like too much for me. Congratulations for you. It's pretty hard topic in the healthcare and design and policy, another
yeah,
complex system. But yeah, we need to work on it, right?
definitely.
And we need to work more in the policies and these type of
Correct.
things, which is good.
And I know you have a lot of experience. Like I'm just getting started with. I definitely had a lot of exposure to AI and service design and how it's being integrated. And I was very lucky to actually talk to Mark also in person, where he shared so much about how he's thinking about having AI integration in service blueprints. What does that look like? And there was a lot of conversation around that. I'm curious how you have been exploring that domain currently.
AI is super
Yeah,
trend right now as people really like to talk about it. Even they don't know how to use it AI, but it's pretty important because when we organize some events relative with the AI, as usually designers nervous about it because they are thinking the AI take place to their responsibilities. But I mean, I see the AI as a tool. I mean, like a Photoshop, like the Rhino, other. I mean, I talk the terminology of the industrial design. Sorry, it's just software, the 3D or 2D modeling programmers we have been facing. But if you use the as a tool, that type of the technology changes, it will be easier to solve more complex problem. I mean, we have been talking about the system, we are talking about the policy or something. I mean, we can use the AI as a tool to research and how can we create the actionable solutions or something like that, instead of the nervous and going far away from the
yeah,
AI. And we have another, I mean, workshops in the global conference and designing with AI, embracing an AI first approach in the service design. And I think it's workplace experience slalom and CDBY and will be facilitators. What I really like about this workshop is how boldly it challenges our profession. And too often, design teams see AI as a side tool, something to automate customer services or generate quick outputs, but not something to actively collaborate with. I mean, this workshop, for example, flips that mindset by creating an AI first playground. It's deliberately extreme, but that's the point. It helps us explore what becomes possible when we stop treating AI as a gimmick and start treating it as a
yeah,
partner. I would like to give you an example. My company at this, we are already seeing how AI can accelerate our work. For example, when we run civic design projects, we use AI to quickly synthesize qualitative research, cluster insights, and even draft early prototypes of serving blueprints. And for our brand strategy projects, AI helps us generate scenario modeling, trend analysis, and multilingual communication prototypes that we then refine with our clients. I mean, these tools don't replace us; they expand our creative and strategic capacity, so we can focus on the human side of design. I mean, this workshop is a chance to experience that shift firsthand. Whether you are excited about AI or skeptical, you will walk away with sharper questions and practical approaches and a better sense of how AI can reshape not just our outputs, but the way we practice design itself. I would like highly recommend it joining because and if you are nervous about the AI, I mean you need the research deep in depth and you can learn how can we use
Yeah,
that
you
as a
need like
tool.
participatory shock therapy. Like, hey, this is where we're come. Like, check out the AI first, AI enhanced service design approach. And I'm actually really curious about. So there are two workshops that Marcus and Leighton are doing, and the second one is on strategic futures and AI integration into that. So I'd be super curious how they're looking at. I guess it is more, as you pointed out, it would be more around trend analysis and developing like the future scenarios of what that looks like. But I wonder how they would approach it in strategic futures and strategic foresight development.
It's a yeah, we have is a two different type of
Yeah, exactly. There are two
workshop.
different ones. And initially, I was like, "Hey, is it the same one that we're getting?" What I realized is slalom and Smapley are doing two different workshops, and even Marcus and Leighton are doing two different workshops. So that was interesting, and I guess it comes from a perspective of, hey, how much experience you already have? Are you just starting to like adopt AI into your process, or are you already at a level where you're using it, and then want to go more advanced? I'm guessing it's a little bit like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's participants will work through the experiment, reflect, adapt loops, applying AI to foresights and strategy, and they will map new collaboration patterns, test scenarios for how client organization might
Yeah.
evolve, and clarify where AI should take on the heavy lifting versus where human judgment, ethics, and facilitation remain critical. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, the real value here is how it reframes service design as a strategic partner to leadership. I mean,
Correct.
this isn't about one of hacks. It's about shaping the responsible while creating adoption of AI across entire organizations. I mean, whether you are at USLX the skeptical or cautious about AI, this session will give us a structured participatory way to make sense of its implications for your practice and your client's future. I mean, if you want to not only understand AI but also lead with it strategically, this workshop is a
I think all
must.
of the workshops are a must. Honestly, on 15th, you should just go to
Yeah.
all the workshops because they're incredible and they're being conducted by all people who have such expertise in their field and so many years of experience where they've really compiled all that knowledge for us. And it's honestly a gold mine of knowledge. And if you can make it to the workshop, you're already like ahead of the curve of so many people.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, thankfully, our global conference team picked the very
Yeah.
trendy topics for the workshops.
Which are
It's
you
pretty good.
attending, Onur? Tell me.
Yeah, I will try my best.
All of them.
Yeah, especially. Yeah, I mean, I think it's impossible, but and I really wanted to attend in the AI part because and I'm super new at it also, and I just when I asked my director, I just remembered, and when I was working at the government, I asked my director, can we use the AI to synthesize all of the insights and the interview because we were interviewing the bunch of people around the city and we just try to get pain point area and the leverage
Mm.
point from them. And he was new that time, and also he said, and yeah, we can use, but we don't know how can we use it. And that's why I really wanted the deep in dive the AI and the service design. I will be try if I learn something
Yes,
and
you have to
I
teach it
if
to
I
us.
participated. Yeah, yeah, we can share our
Definitely. I think
experience.
I'm very curious about all of them, but just because I have a little bit more background in healthcare, I would be curious about the harmonics one, and I want to see what kind of case studies they're bringing and how it's being, like, system syncing is being used at different scales. So I'm curious about that. It would be lovely to attend all again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I deviating from the topic a little bit, and we're probably at the end of the conversation already. You mentioned you were working with community partners. Do you want to share a little bit about it? What that experience was like?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have been working on it almost in 6 months or 7 months,
Mhm.
and I got gathered the across the world as a community is like Pakistan, India, Turkey, I mean Berlin and Germany, South America, and first of all, I didn't expect it is a lot of design communities
Hmm.
around the world, which is good, which is amazing. I love that. And right now we have an amazing community partners and the media partners in global conference. Of course, I would like to share. And for example, in our we have a couple of the podcast media partners. This is human centered design and the Disenio di
Hmm.
Diaspora. They are spreading the world and they're like what is service design, what is the global conference, and what is our program and workshops. The other partners, that community partners we have, and Figma Lahore and uh, int- i- Interaction Design Foundation (IXDF), and they are huge. They do a great job, and they have been the leader of these environment UX and experience environment and UX playgrounds. Industrial Designers Association of Turkey and Global
Hmm.
Jam on and also I'm happy the Public Policy Lab joined our partners this year, which is so important for me because they are working on the public sector as well. I mean, they implement the service design methodologies, the um, like get rid of the barriers between society and the governments, and public policies are another partners. I mean, we are still working on it. World Design Organization, Cumulus, they are supporting our global conference, Core 77. So many and media and the community partners, even we are not negotiating with them. They just share it at the global conference because it's the very important events in a year. Yeah, I'm happy to. I'm so excited to see them in the Dallas and also the after events. I would like to keep in touch with them, and we can create a more
Yeah.
impact
This
for
time,
the
this time we
designer.
really have some global partnerships really coming in, from our normal partners to community partners. You can see that it's such a global scale. So everyone's excited for the program. All right, we're pretty much at the end of our session. So thank you for joining us today. And we had a very
My
incredible
pleasure.
in-depth discussion about workshop. If you're not curious about this, you should at least like click and check out who these incredible people are, what kind of workshops they're bringing to you. And if you haven't booked your tickets to Dallas, right now is the last moment, so do that. And I have a gift for you actually, because there is an amazing partner that we have who has decided that they'd give us a 50% off to our designers who want to attend in person. So do scan the link, do you just have a simple application, fill out the application, and they'll reach out to you, and you'll be able to meet all these incredible global figures and leaders in service design in Dallas. All right,
Thank you so much
perfect.
for
Thank you so much, Unar, and thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.
have a great day.